How is your support system at home? Do you have support?
Yeah, I have
that's great.
amazingly supportive parents, husband.
Wonderful.
My mother-in-law is helpful, friends, coworkers. They always say, whatever you need, we're here for you.
That's
I'm very
wonderful.
fortunate to have the support system that I have, which is a big one.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes such a difference.
Yeah, it does.
Absolutely. What would you say to individuals, that maybe have that type of support system, but it's difficult sometimes to accept, if someone says, what can I do?
Yeah.
Or how can I help?
Yeah.
I think that's always a little bit difficult. What words of wisdom would you give?
You do find that that's the first thing people will say. Whatever you need, you let me know. And it's kind of like, well, I don't know what I need. So how about you say, I'm going to cook you a meal and I'll bring it over. But if people, some people are like, oh, I don't want their help. I don't want to burden anybody. If someone's offering to help you, take them up on it. Because if they didn't truly want to help, they wouldn't offer.
Absolutely.
So kind of put your pride aside and just accept it.
Right.
Yeah.
And to be specific. If they want to bring you a dinner, say, well, could Tuesday, so that macaroni and cheese is coming on a Tuesday evening.
Yeah.
I think that's so important because people do want to help, but they don't know what to do.
Right.
And they offer that blanket statement. And there again, if you can give them, I love that advice, something a little bit specific. Even if they could help with a load of laundry, if you know them well enough.
Yeah,
or,
my mom cleans the house. My mother-in-law would come over and play with Austin. She would do some cleaning too. So that's
makes a huge
appreciated.
difference.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I don't want to do that.
No, I hear you.
On a normal day.
Absolutely. No, I get it. So that I think for all of our listeners, that's so important, and don't feel guilty about it, because I think too. Caregivers and friends, they feel kind of helpless. And if this is one way they know that they're kind of easing the burden for you and your family, then that makes a huge difference to them. They feel like they're able to actually do something to help. For individuals that are listening that maybe don't have that support system, I know you've done some wonderful things on your own to kind of give people that supportive network. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So when I was first diagnosed, like I said, before, I was so desperate to find somebody like me in this situation. You go on social media, Facebook. I'm a big Facebook user. There were support groups, but it was a mixture of patients, caregivers, and for me, that was just too much. So I felt the need to create a Facebook support group solely for patients with cholangiocarcinoma.
Wonderful.
It's our safe space. It's our place to vent, to ask any medical questions, or people talk about how do you address stuff with your children, or how do you work while you're going through this, or life insurance questions. It's for everything, really.
Right.
So for those who don't have people face to face, it's been, I think, huge to be able to connect even just with the computer or phone at this point.
Right. And I think too, one of the things, even if you have a wonderful support network like you do, I think sometimes it's difficult for patients to share some of those really intimate, sometimes dark, sometimes scary things with their loved ones, because they don't want to burden them anymore. Have you found that as well with your Facebook group you started, that people are very open to kind of going there?
Yeah, because a lot of times you're not going to see these people that you're talking to, or a lot of us have been fortunate enough to be able to go to the Cholangiocarcinoma Foundation conference,
which is great.
So to be able to put the real face to the little picture you see is huge.
Absolutely. And I bet you feel like you've known each other for years. I would
it's amazing.
think, definitely. The Cholangiocarcinoma Foundation, they're a wonderful, partner of ours in the GI Cancers Alliance, and I know they do really great work, specific to cholangiocarcinoma, which is so important because, as we said, it is that rare disease, and for young adults especially, I would think it would be very difficult to find.
It is.
Information.
The people that are affected by it mostly are typically, twice my age. They're in their 60s. It's typically men. So to find people my age is very hard. But there's been an influx, I've noticed, in my group of people my age, or in their 30s, close.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's because, more people my age are using social media, or if it's just we know more about this cancer and we're more aware of the diagnosis and being properly I guess, for lack of better terms, diagnosed with it.
Right. And that is such a wonderful service you provide. I mean, that's really paying it forward.
Yeah.
You know, I know that, you know, you've said in our conversations before that if you can help one one person, and I mean, that is just huge.
Yeah.
I'm sure the individuals that, you know, it could be 2 in the morning and they can't sleep and they're
There's
up
always
there.
somebody.
Yeah, they're up there reading and knowing that there are others out there that can help understand what they're going through.
Yeah.
Like nobody else if you haven't gone through it.
And it's worldwide. I mean, we have people from the UK,
Oh, that's great.
Australia, Africa, all over. So it's
Wow.
it's not just here in the United States,
Right.
so it's huge.
Right. No, that is wonderful.
Yeah.
And congratulations on
Thank
doing
you.
that, because that is just, you'll never know probably how many people you've
Yeah,
helped
thank you.
around the country and around the world.